So now we finally begin. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So what does Creator say about that? Creator tells us this is correct for the most part, and that the sacred texts of most religions are actually whistle-blowing documents of truths that were handed down through the ages, though many have since had alterations done through by adding or omitting portions of the texts, as well as through translations, mistranslations, lost, that have been altered or misrepresented. But much or most of the information in the sacred texts are still intact. The earth itself was not the first planet ever created. Creator tells us this. As he made trillions of planets in the Milky Way galaxy, but that he made planet Earth specifically for us, divine human. So Creator tells us that he made planet Earth specifically for just us. Planet Earth is made for us, divine human. And he made it as a loving nest for human. Though, if you look around you today, I think a lot of you will say, what? Doesn't look like a loving nest to me. So we're going to learn about these things, okay? After God created the heavens, as there are assorted sections of heaven, the heavenly realm, I've learned there are assorted sections. I didn't know that. I thought heaven was just heaven, but there are sections of heaven, in the heavenly realm. He made his divine light beings, single soul beings, with intelligence in spirit form that includes us. So according to Creator, we are divine light beings, single soul-based beings, with intelligence in spirit form inside us. Also, creating his high-level helpers, the angels, and their hierarchy, the archangels, angels, guardian angels, etc., to watch over and aid the divine beings in the light, in heaven, and divine human beings in the physical. So there's a couple interesting things here you may not caught on that I added here. Creator says that he also created high-level helpers. And there is a hierarchy to these high-level helpers. And the archangels are at the top. Then there's the angels, guardian angels, and so forth, etc. And they are their duty, their job, the reason why they were made was to watch over and aid all divine beings in the light, in heaven, and all divine human beings as well in the physical. Many, many planets were then specifically designed to support the various life forms they will inhabit, to include divinely created elementals, which are mostly invisible, single-souled, intelligent beings to help oversee the balance of things in nature. So there are these beings, Creator refers to as the elementals, that help oversee the balance of things in nature. So anyway, I'll just leave it at that. God created continued. Creator tells us that his domain is the entirety of the Milky Way galaxy only. Wow, that was a shocker for me. And anything outside that is the domain I like to call a sandbox of another creator, just like him, and so on, etc. So this is going to kind of be a bit of a shocker to a lot of you, if not all of you. It was to me, and a mind blower, and to try to wrap your head around this, okay? I refer to it as a sandbox. Instantly in my mind, I was picturing, okay, well, if God says that he only is the creator and he's the God of his domain, which is the entirety of the Milky Way galaxy only. What does that mean? We know that there are tons of other galaxies out there. Trillions, who knows? Maybe you can't even count that high. How many are out there in the universe? But Creator says that his domain is the entirety of the Milky Way galaxy, which includes us in our solar system. But that anything outside of Creator's domain, the Milky Way galaxy, what I like to call a sandbox, is from another creator. Okay? So there are other, according to God himself, there are other gods out there that have their own sandbox, their own galaxy. Okay? Maybe I don't have this entirely correct. You can ask Karl, or you can ask the question on the GetWisdom.com website to ask Creator your own question yourself and see what Creator answers back. Or if it's already been answered, then they'll say, this question's already been answered, please see that section, whatever. But because a lot of people want to know the same thing. But I love this idea that came to me. I've never heard Karl, never heard Creator say sandbox. But picture it like a sandbox. What do? The sandbox is separated. It has its border around it, sometimes a pretty high border. And it has the sand inside it. And you go in there. I remember we had a sandbox in our backyard that our father put in for us children. And we'd love to play in the sandbox and things. And you could create things in the sandbox, castles, whatever, They may not look very amazing, but if you go on online today and punch in, things people create from sand at the beach, in a sandbox, whatever, you will see some amazing things that people have learned to create out of just sand and some other things, water, whatever. It just looks amazing. But I like to call it sandbox because it makes sense to me. It makes it more than a domain, anyway. So let's continue. Creator further explains that there is actually another creator that made him. So Creator is telling us there is another God creator that made our God creator, and another who created his creator. But that so as not to confuse us further with this new knowledge, that this was all we needed to know about that at this time. When asked who made our creator and are there other creators, etc. Now this was probably the most interesting answer that Creator has given from all the other 8,300 questions posted online on the GetWisdom.com website, and probably the most interesting that I've ever heard of all those. I haven't read through them all, of course, but I've read a lot. And whenever Creator is speaking, in the videos, in the audio transcript, audio programs, I've never heard Creator answer in this way. And it was almost like he was reluctant to answer the question. When he was asked, who made him? Who made our God? And are there other creators out there? Are there other gods out there? And how Creator summed it up, I'll sum it up. Creator said, well, you're asking this question, and so I will answer it to the best of my ability, and I will tell you the truth, but it might be a little difficult to understand or fathom. He didn't say it like that, but something similar. And that he's never said this before for a question. He kind of gave it a get ready for this, kids, and what I'm about to share with you. And so he said, but because you asked the question, I will tell you the truth. And but I will only tell you back that there are three. There is me, God Creator, not me, but God is speaking. There is me, there is the one who made me, and then there is the one who made that God. So, and that's as far as Creator explains that we should understand at this time. Maybe that's as far as it goes. Maybe it's more in depth that we can't understand or fathom with what we know and understand in this time in our lives. Who knows? But that's what Creator says. So now I try to break this down. It's been broken down by Creator, but I think well, okay, I'm not saying I did it better, but I did it, I believe, more in an idiot-proof way that everybody can basically understand. So I'm trying my best to do this, which I believe was divinely inspired anyway. So thank you, God, for helping me with this. If a Creator states, if an intelligent being of our creation, of our God's creation, such as man, divine human, were to attempt to communicate with another creator. Okay, this has been asked. Can I contact, if this is true, there's another God above you, or there's another, so-called sandbox next to you with another God in his own galaxy. Can I contact them? Creator says, if any man or divine human were to attempt to communicate with another creator above ours, or another co-creator of similar or equal status as our God creator, that they could do so if they so desired. So you could, God tells you, sure, you can contact the other gods if you want. I don't have a problem with that, he says. However, all inquiries would always, and I have this in all in caps, defer back to our Creator first and foremost. Since our God was our Creator, maker of us, and therefore always has precedence over his domain, his sandbox. And anything and everything within it, and must be consulted first for permission, okay, in quotes, to communicate with another creator being, or for them to even reply. So God says, sure, you want to talk to another co-creator? You can do that. You can try it. It's not going to hurt. But, however, that creator that you're trying to communicate with is always going to come back to me and say, hey, one of your creations is asking me this question. Is it okay for me to talk with him? Do I have permission from you to speak to one of your creations? And then, you may or may not get permission. I would think you probably would, because Creator's saying, sure, you can contact them. And so, but those co-creators, and just like if some other creation in another creator sandbox wants to talk with ours, same situation. Our Creator, our God, has to ask permission first from that creator to be able to communicate with them or answer if it's possible for them to hear. So to sum up, the important thing to know here is that our God made us in his image and that he loves us unconditionally, as we are a part of him and he is always with us and hears our prayers, and if done correctly, that was originally known shall be answered accordingly. Now, that may be a little confusing. Why do I say if the prayers are done correctly to how we originally knew them to be, they will be answered? I'm going to get into that. God created, further continued. Creator tells us that he has designed his I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start over. Creator tells us that he has designed his domain like no other before him. Okay? In that he has made his domain, the Milky Way galaxy, an absolute free will project zone. Free will project. AKA the divine human free will experiment. In that every intelligent single-souled being and everything within the Milky Way galaxy has complete free will over their own lives, and is therefore their own choice and how they wish to live it, and to do as they choose, be that of good positive intentions or bad negative intentions. and that Creator will not judge you or interfere with your thoughts, deeds, misdeeds, decisions, actions, etc., in your life. So this is utterly and completely your choice to make in your own life. And that unless you believe in God and pray to Him to ask for His help, you are on your own for your entire life and even after death. So okay, so let's go back to this a little bit. This is very fascinating. So what Creator says, that our galaxy is unique and no other galaxy in the universe before the Milky Way galaxy is an absolute free will zone, and that Creator is referring to this project as the divine human free will experiment. So we're an experiment? Well, that doesn't sound very exciting, does it? Does that mean like we're a monkey in a cage somewhere? No, it doesn't. But it's interesting, the terminology used here. Let's see. So all other domains, galaxies under the ownership of our Creator. I'm sorry. Again, I'm reading too fast. All other domains, galaxies under the ownership of other creators, co-creators in the universe have never, ever been free will zones throughout the history of the universe. Creator tells us this. Meaning that karma affects all, and all other domains instantly or shortly thereafter in all these other galaxies in the universe, in the current lifetimes or of their intelligent beings. So their karma is rebalanced, as karma always seeks a rebalancing, almost instantly, as opposed to how karma operates in ours. So our galaxy is completely unique from the rest of the whole universe, and this has never been done before. Wow. Is that a mind blower or what? Creator also says that all other domains are watching us. So does that mean all these other creators in the other sandboxes are looking over in our Creator sandbox to see what's going on here? Maybe that's what that means. They're watching us very closely. How now? To see if we, divine humans, can overcome living in a total free will zone successfully. And if we are successful in fulfilling our mission, there it is again, I'm going to talk about it later, you're all going to learn it, in this free will zone, then Creator will reward us with His most holy gift we were destined to acquire as divine human, that being ascension. If we so choose to accept it when a Creator offers it to us, if it's offered to us. So we have to complete our mission first to get this offering, this gift from Creator. So it's not happened yet, obviously, and all others are watching us according to Creator, what we're doing, how we're doing it, if we can overcome living in a total free will zone successfully. Well, just look around you in the world today. Does it look like we're being successful? Good question. Some would say definitely not. Some might say maybe. Some might say, yeah, we're doing all right. We shall see. Let's continue. What does Creator tell us about reincarnation? The majority of humans, single soul-based beings alive on Earth today, have lived an average of 423 lifetimes. That's from 0 lifetimes to 1,036 lifetimes maximum. Wow. Is that insane or what? Some humans on Earth today are much older than 423 lifetimes, and some much younger, or even newly created. Interesting. All divine light beings with single individual souls have the ability to reincarnate and are therefore immortal. Notice I have lined here divine light beings. Okay? Creator tells us we as divine light beings, we never die. Creator says we never die. We never age. Never, ever, ever. Creator made us that way as a part of himself who is also immortal. So being a part of him makes us also the same. We divine humans have only forgotten our true self when reborn into a new body. Therefore must be, this is the term I like to use, that I came up with, I believe was a divinely inspired, and therefore we must be reawakened to the truth of the divine. And I mean, that page right there, what it says is just like, wow. For reals? So, Creator says, every single human being on earth today has lived an average, for the most part, 423 lifetimes. That's probably all my family, relatives, everyone I've ever met, probably all of them about the same. But that there are also some that are much younger, can even be newly created, 0 lifetimes. They've never been reincarnated before. They just came into being in the light and have now decided, or you'll learn about that, have now come to be reincarnated after they die. But that because we were created in light being form, our soul, individual intelligent souls, we can reincarnate and we are immortal. Our soul never dies, no matter what. Actually, I could be wrong on that. There may be some ways, but that it doesn't, for the most part, pertain to us. Okay, so let's continue. Reincarnation continued. Most living humans never remember their true self, that they were living in spirit light body form in the heavenly realm much longer than they had in the physical living on earth, and that they volunteered to be here, but have forgotten what their mission in life is, or that they lived so many past lives or spent the majority of their existence in the heavenly realm. The preponderance of us have forgotten all these things and so much more, and that all your complete memory comes back to you upon your return to the heavenly realm, in returning to your soul-based light being form. Creator tells us reincarnation is entirely your choice to make, and only you can make that decision to participate in the process of choosing to return to the earth plane again until you complete your mission in life. There are some religious teachings that still hint at these things, but most of these truths have been forgotten or purposely removed from their sacred texts. So, reincarnation is entirely voluntary, according to Creator, channeled through Karl Mollison of GetWisdom.com. And if you are here now, then you chose to be here. So, you may say, oh my gosh, I hate this life, I hate my life, I hate people, I hate the world, what am I doing here? I want to get off this rock, yada yada. But you don't remember that you volunteered to be here. Why? Why did you volunteer to come down to this hell on earth? Why would you do that? Because you have a mission to do. And, being up in the light for eons, like Creator says, some of us are very old souls. Not that 423 lifetimes is an old soul. That's average, but it sure sounds old to me. So we have a lot of experience, the majority of us. We remember these things, maybe little tidbits, and it's interesting when, you read about a child who's like 3 years old and he goes to start playing the piano. And in a year, he's playing Mozart or Beethoven. And he can do all these things, these incredible things. Children who are artists. And, how do they get these talents? They didn't obviously learn them in this lifetime. They learned them in a previous 423 of their lifetimes. Creator says, we have these talents that come back to us from previous lives. I can't really think what mine are. I'm terrible at drawing. I can't write very well. I can't play a musical instrument. My brother does all these things. And, I'm not really successful at a great many things, but which my sister, my father are really good at. And mother, successful in music. And I kind of wonder, what the heck do I do? I don't really do anything good. If I've been 423 at least, well, what the heck? Why can't I remember any? Anyway, I believe this is my calling. So I'm thankful to do what I'm doing now, and that is learning all I can about the divine and sharing with you. So that I'm happy with. So, the major factors causing the most trouble for humans on Earth. Most are completely unaware. I was too, until I learned about GetWisdom.com. Anyway, number one. These are the most major factors causing trouble for humans on Earth now. Number one, karma. Negative karma obtained through intentional payback to be rebalanced from transgressions. You won't hear me speak that word anywhere else in this presentation, but you will hear it from Creator. Rebalanced from transgressions. By the way, the word sin, Creator says, is not a word that he uses. He doesn't like to use the word sin. He says the proper terminology, actually, especially for this day and age, it worked okay, I guess, for 2,000 years ago, but he said the word transgressions is the most appropriate term for sins today. So then it makes sense. That negative karma obtained through intentional payback to be rebalanced from transgressions committed or accidentally triggered, again, I'm not going to get into much of that, but you can look it up yourself, after being already repaired. Okay? Number two, limbo. You're going to learn a lot about limbo. Not a pleasant place. Upon death, becoming trapped for a period of time in the darkness of limbo. Happens every day. Number three, spirit meddlers. The dark, evil spirit entities. And yes, they are real. Very real. Number four, the major, I'm not going to talk about this one, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of a teaser. Number four, the fourth major factor causing the most trouble for humans on Earth today. The last major factor is explained at length in part 2, which I haven't made yet, and only if the family says, I want to hear it. Let's hear it. Give it to me. But you can learn it yourself as well. You don't have to hear it from me. I'm just sharing this with you, breaking it all up, making it pretty easy in a presentation for you. In learning and understanding the above three is the most important to know for now. So I'm not going to talk about number 4. Let's continue. What is karma? Dictionary.com defines karma as seen as bringing upon oneself inevitable results, good or bad, either in this life or in a reincarnation. The cosmic principle according to which each person is rewarded or punished in one incarnation according to that person's deeds in the previous incarnation. So everyone's heard this one. What goes around comes around. And it's so true. Absolutely is true. Creator shared this with us. And he also refers to it as karma. Though I think there may be other names. Karma continued. Believe, and this is important, believe in yourself and do your karma action. Success will follow you automatically. You're going to learn about why I emphasized automatically. Doing karma is in our hands only. Result is not in our hands. This was stated from Lord Krishna. And this is absolutely correct. Exactly what we are learning from Creator. This statement I found online, I was like, whoa, that is so telling. It tells it all right there. In stating about believe in karma, that not to believe in karma, but it's there, but to believe in yourself. And that the success or the hindrance will follow you automatically. So doing your karma is in your hands. And that's exactly what Creator says. And the result is not in our hands. So what happens when you do bad? There's an action for every action you do in your life, there is a reaction. What do you think, speak, do, everything? Okay? Karma is following you. And this is one thing I learned, which was very fascinating. I picture karma like a webcam that's right above my head on a drone. And it's sitting there with recording, listening, but not only that, it also knows what you think. So you got to be careful, okay? Karma. Fear-based karma is you reap what you sow. Karma is the consequences, both good and bad, that are brought to you based on your actions, good and bad. You are judged for your actions. You absolutely are, whether you like it or not. Love-based karma. Karma is a gift that brings you lessons for your soul's personal growth and will continue to bring these lessons back around until you have learned them. This also is correct. The problem of karma, how it affects us. The problem of karma, in the very beginning, when God, Creator, started our universe, the Milky Way galaxy, He created karma to supervise and manage automatically everything for Him. So He did not have to. As a kind of automaton, like a robot, with artificial intelligence that sees, hears, knows all, including what you think, to know, to hold all to account for their actions. So, karma is almost like a God being itself. This is my thought, okay? This is not what Creator says. But, trying to understand it. But if I remember correctly, Creator has referred to karma as an intelligent being that He created in the beginning as like a automaton. I think He used that word, but I love that word because it sums it up really well. And it sees and hears and knows all. If your actions in this life are in positive goodness, purity. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Yeah. Did I have? I didn't want to have that on there. Oh, okay, never mind. Where was I? If your actions in this life are in positive goodness, purity, in divine alignment, you're going to learn a lot about that. I love this word. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite word in the world now, divine alignment. And you're going to hear me say it a lot and often. When then karma in your next life, sorry, I'm mixing this all up. Then karma in your next life shall be compensated, rewarded as such. And if in negative, evil, corruption, not in divine alignment, then an equal or similar payback punishment will befall you, as karma always outs and must be rebalanced. Now, when asked, Creator has given us these percentages. Past life trauma. 78% of trauma causing physical illness in our current lives in everybody on earth is caused by past life trauma. 78%. Wow. That is nuts. So, all the people who have a physical illness in this life, 78% of that is caused from a past life naughty thing you did that was not repaid. And why wasn't it not repaid in that past life? You'll learn. Here, present life trauma. 9% of trauma causing physical illness in our current life is caused by present life trauma. I'm sorry, present life karma. Okay, so only 9%, because we're in a free will zone, according to Creator, we can do and say whatever we want in this life, good or bad. Only 9% of that, of our physical illnesses today, are caused by the present things, karmas, the bad, naughty things that we've done. Okay? If you've done naughty things, of course, we all have in the past at some time. And future life karma, I know this is hard to understand. I'm only going to touch briefly, but I will explain a little bit about this, about time. Creators explain that to us. From what I can understand, it's very difficult. And I'm definitely not a mathematician. Future life trauma. Only 4% of trauma causing physical illness in our current life is caused by future life karma, with 9% being of your higher self choice. I don't want to get too much into this. What is this higher self? According to Creator, there are 5 selves of divine light beings, divine human beings. There are 5 selves. I can't remember them all, but one is conscious, subconscious, deep subconscious, I forget the other one, and higher self. I think higher self is basically a part of you with one foot in the divine realm, the other foot watching in the physical, and basically deciding if you deserve something good or something naughty, like Santa Claus, in a way. You've been naughty, you've been nice, we can't let that happen. We can't let you get that, win that lottery. We can't let, let's not use lottery. I don't think that's, well, that could be. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that about gambling. But, a good thing came into your life. That could have been your, that good happening was coming your way, and your higher self then gave the nod. Yep, okay. This time in their life does not need a rebalancing through karma. It's all good. Let it happen. But if it didn't, your higher self will say, nope, they can't get that now. And so let's say you were trying to get that job promotion, and you've been working on it for a while now, and you just don't get it. Then you could be looking at as a karmic issue. Now, I do have here, this is what Creator has given us as physical illness, but it can be for anything, actually, or most anything. Okay, so let's continue. What is limbo? Limbo is purgatory, lower astral, oblivion, nothingness, nowhere, etc. The definition in Collins English Dictionary says, if you say that someone or something is in limbo, you mean that they are in a situation where they seem to be caught between 2 stages and it is unclear what will happen next. This is absolutely correct with what Creator says about limbo. Let's continue. Why is limbo such a problem for divine human? This is where it starts to get crazy. Limbo is an actual place located in the lower astral plane. Limbo is linked to the physical plane, earth plane, and is not in the physical. In other words, we can't see it. We can't feel it. We can't taste it. Not while we're living. Limbo is not in the heavenly realm, which is the upper astral plane, and is not under divine protection. Ouch. As it is not in divine alignment. Since limbo is linked directly to the earth plane, it then falls under being also a free will zone. That is what makes limbo so scary to me. So anyone who becomes trapped there in limbo must have one of the following to be rescued to get out of there. Number one, to remember on their own their own belief in God Creator and as such they are a divine light being of the heavenly realm by right, which you are. But you need to remember that. And to then call upon God, Creator himself, and or the angels, the archangels in the light, and or the light callers, very important, etc., to rescue and return them to their rightful place in the upper astral heaven. Or number two, receive help, rescue, healing from a living human being, calling upon God through empowered prayer for that spirit in limbo to be safely returned to the divine realm in the light. No other method will work than these two, because we are in the divine human free will project zone, which is in the Milky Way galaxy only. So this means if you don't have one of these two things in your life and after you die, belief in God Creator, if you don't believe in the divine or the heavenly realm, if you don't remember then upon death to call upon God, if you don't remember to call on the angels, maybe you have a favorite angel you prayed to when you were younger, Archangel Michael or whatever. If you don't remember that, if you don't remember the light callers, I think we will talk about the light callers if I didn't talk about it. Yeah, we will talk about the light callers, etc., to rescue and return you to the upper astral plane of heaven. You're stuck there. You are stuck in limbo. Let's continue. Limbo continued. It is what has been referred to as hell, although actually completely void of the heavenly light from the divine realm. Upon death, shockingly, this is insane. Shockingly, Creator tells us 1 in 3, 1/3 people on earth today, when they die, end up in limbo. 1/3. And it's becoming a big, big problem, Creator says. Many people who end up in limbo may remain trapped there for tens or hundreds of years or longer, maybe even thousands, before returning home to the divine heavenly realm. Okay? That is truly, according to Creator, home is in the divine heavenly realm. That is where we originated from. The main method for being rescued from limbo is by a living human being, one or more, praying through empowered prayer on your behalf for their safe return back to heaven. And that's the main way to do it, is through empowered prayer. We're going to talk about that in a little bit later. Limbo, continued. There are many reasons why people become trapped in limbo upon death, but mainly is caused by the individual thinking very negatively before or during their death, died of suicide, died suddenly, a violent death, and or did not have belief in God Creator, Jesus Christ, the angels, heaven, etc., etc. Okay? You don't have belief you may end up in limbo. You may not. Some people get very lucky, or maybe it's not luck, but some people make it back no problem at all. Even some that did bad, naughty, really naughty things in their life. And why? Why is it? Why didn't they go to hell? Why didn't they make it? How did they make it back to heaven, even after they did so naughty things in their life? Well, because it's explained. It makes perfect sense if you believe in what Creator here is telling us in these channelings. Creator is saying that if you end up in limbo, if you don't end up in limbo, it's because, no, he doesn't say if you don't end up in limbo. Basically, Creator says that the people who have done very naughty things, they can easily get back up into the heavenly realm, because maybe deep in their memory, in their thoughts, when they were a child or upon death, they came to God, or they said, oh, I believe, or whatever. And they may honestly believe that. You know, a lot of prisoners in the prisons today will come and say they found Jesus, and they're so sorry for their past sins, their transgressions, and they want to do good now. And they are doing good, and God bless them. That's wonderful that they have done that. And the likelihood, if they remember that when they die, however they die, they most likely will be brought back to heaven. And Creator says the reason for this is because He simply allows, because we are in the free will zone. And He can see beyond the physical. Creator knows that when He made you, when He made us, that He loved us unconditionally, and He sees back how wonderful and beautiful you are and what you really are. You're not that evil, demented, crazy, insane person that did all those evil things. You are a part of God. Whether you choose to believe that or not, that's your choice, of course, and I respect that. But this is what God, Creator, through these channelings is teaching us. When an individual in divine alignment, again, there's that lovely, my favorite word in the world, and when an individual in divine alignment and has belief in the divine and dies, they instantly or shortly thereafter see the light callers, consisting usually of one or two angels from heaven assigned to guard an entrance, notice I said an and not the, to the divine realm, appearing as a bright white light, doorway, tunnel, portal, stairway to heaven, whatever. Okay, there's usually one or two of the light callers. They will be brightly lit. They may just have like a beautiful white aura around them, but they will, one or the other will be standing usually on either side of the entrance, guiding you safely back to the heavenly realm. So you don't have to deal with limbo. They're there to pick you up. Take you in the nice limousine to the lovely hotel of heaven. No, Creator didn't say that. I just said that. At times may also be greeted by a deceased family member in place of the light callers, a loved one, a soul family member, a light being, or even Jesus Christ Himself, or even God Creator Himself, etc., to guide those who have passed, granting safe passage back to the heavenly realm. Lovely, isn't it? Limbo further continued. The only other the only other certain way in which one can avoid being trapped in limbo and to see, quotes, the light callers upon death is by having a living human being, again, perform a special empowered prayer, again, on their behalf, in specifically requesting in detail for them to see the light callers to be safely guided back to heaven. Other than that, you may find yourself ending up trapped in limbo yet again, which creates further trauma and karmic ties, a karmic further backlog until you are rescued. Why is karma even involved in that? When you're in limbo, when you're out of your body, you're dead. How can karma still do that? Creator told us. He says because limbo is still a part of the physical plane, which you volunteered to enter. So if you get yourself in limbo because of the way you think or your actions or whatever, and there are a lot of nasty, evil things that never made it to heaven because of their belief or their actions in life, and they're still in limbo. They didn't make it out. So you can continue to create karmic ties, and you'll learn why in a little bit, until you are rescued. Since you may not see the light callers standing directly right there in front of you, waving high, blowing a whistle, or whatever they do, ringing the bells, their little cutie heavenly bells. I'm just saying that to make this fun, to guide you back to heaven and say, hey, I'm right here. Can't you see me? And if you are not in divine alignment, if you are not with your mind in the right place, then you won't see them. You won't see the light of heaven. You will only see the darkness around you and be trapped there. So standing directly, so you won't see the light caller standing directly in front of you to guide you back to heaven because your energetics, belief system, frequency, etc. was not in divine alignment.